Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. All right, let's get into this Kyrie Irving deal or situation. I'm sure y'all have all heard that brother Kyrie has been suspended for a few, let's say at least 5 games, which is some bullcorn. It's like, how you gonna suspend somebody for at least 5 games? And I believe that he's supposed to have he was fined like $500,000, all because he retweeted a link to a video entitled Hebrews to Negroes. Why would he do such a thing? Well, because he believed that he's a descendant of, or he's a Hebrew Israelite. Now, they have called him anti-Semitic because of the tweet of the video, but nobody has came out and said that whatever's in the that what's in the video or the movie that is inaccurate. You know how you can be upset with somebody tell you something, and you be like, "Nah, that's not right, man," and that's like hate speech, blah blah blah. And then you be like, "Well, show me what's wrong with what I said," and then they can kind of like hit you with points like this wasn't right, this didn't happen, it happened like this, blah blah blah. And then you can be like, okay, all right, then let me look into it, and if what you're saying is correct, what I'm saying, I changed what I said. I changed my thoughts and beliefs because I want to be actual and factual. But in this case, nobody came out and said that what was in the movie or the film, that there was anything unfactual. Now, I did a video a few days ago about the reason why you can't say nothing about certain people, and it went back to Adolf Hitler and reasons why he felt the way he did and why he did the deplorable things that he did. But again, it's stuff that's based on evidence. If it's based on evidence, whether you like it or not, you have to respect it. So, Hebrew Israelites, let's go there for just a second. I myself grew up in the Christian church, Baptist church, in high school, junior high and high school, studied Islam. Thought about being a Muslim. Didn't quite agree with all that, with some of the things, but some of the principles I did agree with. You understand what I'm saying? Then when I got older, was introduced to the Hebrew Israelite faith, and I embraced it. But again, there's certain things in there that I may or may not agree with. The world is not black and white, although they try to make it that way when it benefits them. And when I say them, I mean anybody. Anybody who has an argument, at that point, they want everything to be black and white. It's either this or this. Like Republicans, Democrats. Instead of somebody saying, hey, I'm just a black American, I'm going to vote for whoever got something for us. And if they ain't got nothing for us, and I mean us as my people, because we've seen the history, we've seen what's done happen, how we've been, cast aside when need be. If you ain't got nothing for us, then I just won't vote for nobody. You feel what I'm saying? And people get mad, oh, if the Republicans get in, then it's going to be racism and they're going to do this and that and the third. Well, hell, they already doing it. Hell, y'all are doing it. No, Democrats are doing it. So what's the difference? So why go out there and waste my time going out doing something that's not going to make a difference? You feel me? So, I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, so back to the Hebrew Israelite thing. It's funny how they tried to call Kyrie anti-Semitic over the movie, say it was hate speech. You had Charles Barkley, you had Shaquille O'Neal come out and say it, but I guarantee neither one of them watched the documentary. I guarantee. Matter of fact, I heard that what's funny is that one of the movie theaters that Shaquille O'Neal owns actually showed the film. Had a viewing of this film in one of his movie theaters. But again, I guarantee, but he never mentioned that. And so, which means it's most likely he did not watch. He didn't watch the film. So, but he's going to put out a point saying something is ignorant, something stupid, and he should get suspended and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you know what? Shaquille, let me tell you this, sir. Oh, like it's finna rain. That's cool. Let me tell you this, sir. I agree with you. He probably should get suspended. You know why? Because he nor his people own the league. You know, out of all the teams in the NBA, nearly half of them are owned by the people who are mad that he tweeted out this video. So they are not going to allow you to come in and disrespect them while they are paying you. So in other words, what Kyrie should do, but I'm sure Kyrie got enough money to last him his whole life if he you know, balance it out and plan it out right. Only thing that a brother can do to make sure that nobody messes with his money is, you know, get his own business, do his own thing, stop working for somebody else, and then think you are able. You know, it's like when people, you ever go to work and people go to work and complain all day about the boss, about the work they have to do, talk about their boss, try to be disrespectful to their boss, but yet go right back out there and keep working. And then when the boss write them up or want to fire them, then they want to get upset and say that they got fired or wrote up or written up or suspended because the boss is racist. Whether or not they're racist or not is beside the point. I don't care who you are. You can't come in a person's house and disrespect them and expect to sleep there or expect to not deal with consequences and punishment. Like little kids. Kids want to disrespect the parents, you're going to get punished. You still got a roof over your head for the time being, but you're going to get punished. This is the same thing. So if Kyrie got suspended by them folk, I ain't surprised. You can't really protest. You know, you can't really go out there and march because it's their business. Now, what you can do is stop watching basketball games. What you can do is stop going to the basketball games. What you can do, I know everybody's going to want to do this, but do not go buy a Kyrie Irving jersey. Why? Because it's still going to put money in their pockets because they own the rights to the jerseys. You know, you see what I'm saying? So that's not support Kyrie. You know what you could do? Go to the hood, go to the bazaar, or you know, the brother down the street, you know what I'm saying, selling the bootleg clothes. Now, if he make a Kyrie Irving jersey or a shirt, buy that. Now, you might say, oh man, it's you promoting illegal activity. Nah, all I'm saying is if you have to buy something or make your own. Ain't nobody you can buy. Well, yeah, you can make your own. You can order you some blank jerseys from, you know, and put whatever you want on. And you know what I'm saying? And let that be the reason. You know, a blank shirt and put some Kyrie Irving, words on it of encouragement or promotion. You can do that. But don't go buy anything that has an NBA logo on it and that has Kyrie Irving name on it. Because what you're doing is you're still paying the NBA anyway, so you're defeating the purpose. That's just a, you know, word of, it's just tidbit information that you should follow. But let me go back to the Hebrew Israelite thing. So what's funny about that is that truthfully they don't want us to call ourselves Hebrew Israelites, which I believe that we are. And why do I believe that? Because it's in the Bible. And what's funny is the very same Bible that y'all use, and yes, your people, some of your people were slaves. When I say your, those are the people again who are upset that Kyrie Irving saying he's anti-Semitic. Your people owned a lot of slaves. They had a lot of plantations. Don't believe me? Go look it up. But The very same Bible that y'all used to enslave our ancestors, whether you brought them over on the boat or whether we was already here as natives, whatever you want to call it. That Bible, y'all used that Bible to tell us that we were a cursed people and that we deserved, not deserved, it was written, prophesied, I guess, that we were to be slaves for you guys because we were wicked. We're like what, the cursed people. We were a cursed people. And the only way, but also in that Bible, the only way we're gonna come out of slavery is to stop worshiping the same gods that our oppressors and our slave masters worship. When Moses brought the people out of Egypt, a lot of them were still doing the same things they were doing when they was in bondage. See, we were told that we'll be slaves for 400 years. The problem with that is a lot of people think that that means that once the 400-year mark hit, we're just going to be free from bondage and we're going to be happy and we're going to live high on the hog, which is a bad analogy because, you know, we're not supposed to eat pork anyway. But basically, but you get what I'm saying. But that's not how it works. The Most High doesn't work like that. The Most High told Moses to go in Egypt, get his folk up out of there, and you're going to lead them to the promised land, but that he would not see the promised land, that they would be in the wilderness for 40 years, but that Moses would not see the promised land, but the Most High promised him that he would get his people to the promised land. And so he did, but Moses never saw it. What that entails is that, look, once we are out of slavery, now it's time for us to lead our people to the promised land. Our ancestors to lead us to the promised land. But our ancestors, and maybe even us, we won't see the promised land until we get right, get our beliefs right, and understanding of what we are really, how we really supposed to live. Because Hebrew Israelite is not a religion, it's a way of life. One of the 12 tribes of Judah, you know what I'm saying? The sons of Abraham. Come on now. Once we get back to that, then everything will be correct. But it won't be an overnight thing because you cannot bring nobody anything over. It's like you're not supposed to win the lottery and become a billionaire overnight if you have no understanding of financial literacy or being smart with money. If you're still hanging around cutthroat people and cutthroat family members, you can't have that much money. You shouldn't, because it's going. All the only thing it's gonna do is cause destruction, cause problems. But again, the issue is that the same Bible y'all use to enslave us, to tell us that we are enslaved people, also told us that we are getting out. Also told us that we were part of the 12 tribes of, like I said, 12 tribes of Judah, which means that we are Hebrew Israelites, that we are original Jewish people. But you don't want to hear that. But it's funny how it's okay to tell us that we are enslaved or we're not a full man, full human. But when we say, hey, checkmate, here's what it's saying in the end. Now we're anti-Semitic because we're just trying to take pretty much our rightful, what you say, rightful throne, or our rightful place, our proper place in the Most High's kingdom. Like it's raining pretty hard. Thought it'd be over by now, but hey, it is what it is. I got a message, so we're not gonna let this, interfere with this message at all. So that's hypocritical of them folk. But like I said in the previous video, the problem is that they are worried that you get one person to say one thing about them, whether it's positive or negative, bringing them to the forefront. Then another person will say something, and if you get the right person or the wrong person, however you want to see it, you get the wrong person to hear that message, then they're gonna want to try to take him down, just like Adolf Hitler did. And that's what they're trying to avoid, which is understandable. When you're in power, you want to keep power. But the problem is, even their power is built on lies and deception. Because either we are the quote unquote cursed people in the Bible, in Deuteronomy, in the book of Deuteronomy. If we are, then that means we're coming up out of bondage. We've been freed as slaves, and now we're going with them. You know what I'm saying? We're coming to the end of the wilderness and getting ready to see the promised land. But if we're not, then that mess y'all told us back in the day is bullcorn, and we should be human, and we should have equal rights with everybody. There should be no prejudice, no racism. And another point I'm gonna say make about the Bible, so I can get to what I'm trying to get to with this one little story about these silly Negroes. Again, the same Bible that y'all enslaved us with, the same Bible that we are supposed to learn from, is the linchpin or the catalyst or whatever you want to call it to the gate or the gateway to heaven. But it's what keeps it's used with people that use it stay divided racially. Like, it's supposed to bring everybody together. If it ain't but one day a week for a couple of hours, to bring everybody who had that same belief, they should be able to come together and congregate with no problems. Which means the church, which is the most segregated hour, as Malcolm X and Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan all tell you. It's the most segregated hour of the week, but it's supposed to be the time that we all can come together so we can all try to get to heaven. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Man, I remember growing up, I'll say late 80s, early to mid 90s. Went to a church in, east part of Dallas, PG, Texas. Shout out. And and it seems kind of thrown off now, but I guess it might have seemed like it would probably be normal, regular back then. But we went to a church where white people actually owned the building. They had service like at, I think, 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. And while they would have a service in the main church, what do you call it? We would have Sunday school in the back classroom, black folk. Then once their service was over and they, went out through the front door, we come in through the classroom door and we'll go in and have our own service. Like I say, looking back on it now, like I say, look, it seems like the most throwed off thing in the world. But you gotta remember, talking about the South, older people, hell, they was in their 60s and 70s at the time. So, they grew up in the 50s and 60s. And hell, they grew up in the South. So used to that. Probably thought it was, normal and regular. I just don't remember a time where, we were invited to their church. We might have been, I don't know. But not forget the invite. It's just, why just be like, well, if like I say, if the Bible is supposed to, bring everybody to heaven, we're going to like two different heavens, white heaven and black heaven. They teach that kind of stuff. I don't know. But what if, why it just wasn't like one big congregation? But you don't ever see them come to our church. Now we'll go to Joel Osteen church in a minute, be in the front row so we can be on TV. But I ain't seen too many of them go to, TD Jakes church or whatever, Creflo Dollar, whoever. Ain't never really see that. Not too many of them, but maybe for the best, because if they came in, should we probably worship them like gods in a way. But anyway, let me get to my main point about us. Talk about my folk. And this is a story out of ESPN. And it says, Kevin Durant wants Nets to move past Kyrie Irving incident. It said the Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant said the fallout from Kyrie Irving's social media post that centered on an anti-Semitic book and movie entitled Hebrews to Negroes is an unfortunate situation that just sucks all around for everybody, and hopefully we can move past it. Irving was suspended by the Nets on Thursday for no less than 5 games, which is like, I mean, hell, former buck breaking. You know what I'm saying? Holding that, holding whatever he do over him. You know what I'm saying? Trying to show who's boss. Putting him in his place. Either do right or we gonna suspend you. Showing the whole world we don't care who you are, how much money you make, or what you do for us. You are going to follow the rules. Because we will replace you eventually. We replace Michael Jordan. Pretty soon we're going to replace LeBron James. We can't replace you. Trust me. It'll happen. It always happens. Same thing in the NFL with Kaepernick. Kaepernick, he was a pretty good player. Went to the playoffs a few times, but these antics that you pulling, we can replace you. Now understand, like I said earlier, nearly half of the owners in the NBA are part of the people who didn't like the tweet that Kyrie put out and wanted him to apologize and go to the museum and all that kind of bullcorn. So you gotta understand, you're not finna sit there and disrespect them. Go work for them, make money off of them, and disrespect them. Be angry all the time. This and the third. Talk against them and then get paid off and get paid from them. Nah, that's only gonna last so long. That's why, you gotta do your own thing. Say suspended no less than 5 games after he failed to formally apologize during a news conference earlier in the day for the hurt that his post caused late last week. And like Kyrie said, where were you at when I was a kid growing up and learning about what my people being through? 300 million of us buried on these lands, slaves. Where were you at when I'm trying to figure out, find myself, find out who I am, being proud, of my heritage? Were y'all upset? Were y'all asking your people for apologies? You know what I'm saying? Acting like, that y'all are so hurting that it was wrong. Hell, even now, with the majority of the record labels being controlled and owned by these same people, nobody's out there saying, hey, we apologize for helping to promote this music that has helped to keep y'all down and helped in the destruction of your people. And I don't care what you people try to say that, oh man, music, it's just music. It don't mean that. Man, music is the universal language of the world. Music is, it hits the soul. It hits the soul differently than a book, than somebody talking to you. Music got a rhythm. It does something to you. It puts itself in you, and it's hard to get out. You can remember songs. How'd you how'd you learn your ABCs musically? Me, the books of the Bible with a rhythm. I learned that as a kid with rhythm. Any rap song, R&B song, anything that had a rhythm behind it is easy to recall it 30, 40, well, I ain't 50 yet, 30, 40 years later. But on a side note, you do know that Lucifer was the angel of music, created the most beautiful music in the heavens before he was cast down. So you think when he was cast down to the third heaven, because again, there's no hell just yet. Read your Bible, you'll see what I'm talking about. When he was cast down to the third heaven, you think he just lost all his musical skills? And they say he is the controller of this world. Think he lost his musical skills? No. This demonic music that we put out that promotes violence, drug use. Now youngsters want to be dope fiends and disrespecting our women. This stuff is being pushed out to the masses by those in power. None of them have came out and apologized for that. Matter of fact, Lyle Cohen on The Breakfast Club pretty much said, I ain't gonna say pretty much, said that the reason why he let this music come out on his record label is because he got mouths to feed. He got kids in college. These were his words, not something that I'm paraphrasing. This man said that. But y'all think everything is okay. You know, they don't apologize. They have apologized for none of that. No one has apologized for their ancestors being, you know, slave owners. Won't bring it up. But you want Kyrie to apologize about a movie that he found on Amazon Prime that somebody else made and that Amazon had on their website. The same Amazon website owned by the same guy who is interested in buying the Washington Redskins. Interesting. And people are not putting two and two together. Y'all just ain't tired as a people. I know I am. Let's say, quote, this is what Kyrie said. I ain't here to judge nobody or talk down nobody. No, this is what Durant said. I ain't here to judge nobody or talk down on nobody for how they feel, their view, or anything, Durant said following the Friday shoot-around. I just didn't like anything that went on. I feel like it was all unnecessary. I feel like we could have just kept playing basketball and kept quiet as an organization. I just don't like none of it. Man, you just talking around a bunch of bullcorn, trying to hurt your owner's feelings. But again, that's how you make your money. So I can't be mad at you because that's how you get paid. So what else could I expect? I know you don't make, hundreds of millions of dollars. You should have a nice nest egg somewhere where you can just say, the hell with this. I'm done with this. I'm tired of these people treating us like this, butt breaking my people. But, he don't like he don't like Kyrie too much. Remember, he was trying to get up out of there because of Kyrie. So he ain't finna say nothing to go against the owners. He not finna side with him because he not on code. I guess he don't understand what the code is. Durant tweeted to clarify his comments saying, I don't condone hate speech or anti-Semitism. They always got to throw that mess in there. I always got to throw that in there because they don't, like I said, they got to make sure you understand. It'll say General Manager Sean Marks, who travels with the team for the Friday game against the Wizards, said the Nets never considered waiving Irving in the wake of his latest controversy. No, Marks said, not at this point in time. They're not going to do that because they're trying to butt break him. They're going to drag this out. They're going to make an example out of him. You heard? They say Mark said that while the apology on Instagram was a good first step, now listen to this, y'all. Irving will need to take more steps, including counseling designated by the team, as well as meeting with the Jewish leaders. Hey, I'm just reading this off the website. With the Jewish leaders within the Brooklyn community before being able to play for the Nets. When has these people who promote this devilish music, have they met with the leaders of the Hebrew Israelite community? Or any leaders of the Black community, Black American community? So they can learn how sensitivity training for us? I think not. I think after anything like this, you would always hope that there's a change, Mark said. There's a change in feelings, a change in attitude. I think per his apology, that's a step in the right direction. But as we've sort of stated, actions speak louder than words. And so he had some time, and there will be more time to reflect on that. He's going to have to sit down with the Jewish leaders. He's going to have to sit down with the organization after this, and we'll evaluate and see if this is the right opportunity to bring him back. Oh, I hate to hear this. I really do, man. I hate seeing this. And then they asked Durant if he agreed with the team's decision. He said, I believe and trust the organization to do what's right. Again, can't get mad because you're getting paid by him. So, what are we going to do? What I'm trying to get to is, let me see, but once the ball starts bouncing, we get other stuff. So it's cool about it. Difficult. Man, I can't see it. But anyway, it says, Durant say it's just the way of the NBA now, media. So there's so many outlets now and stores hit pretty fast now. That's where all the chaos is coming from, blah, blah, blah. But once the ball start bouncing and we get into practice, none of this stuff seeps into the gym. So that's the cool part about being in the gym. But once you step off the court, everybody's got the microphones out, microscopes looking at you, asking you what you feel about it. So that's been difficult, but the game is a constant for us right now. Now, one thing that irritates me too is, and I end with this, when people like Shaquille O'Neal say that the game has he likes his game, he knows his game, this, blah, 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 because it brings people together. Shaq, basketball does not bring people together. I'm sorry. The one thing that should bring people together is a Bible in the church, and it does not do. If the Bible in the church does not bring people together, Shaquille O'Neal, basketball, football, baseball will not do it. Hell, there's damn near nobody in baseball at all. No brothers in baseball at all. Sports do not bring people together. Sports brings people to you to watch you entertain them, but it does not bring us together. Nothing positive for the community comes out of sports, out of people watching sports together. Everybody can be in the stadium. Everybody can root for, let's say, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Everybody can come in the stadium and root for them. But have you not seen how many fights happen in football stadiums with fans and fans alike? They could be fans of the same team or fans of opposite team. But again, it doesn't bring people together to be constructive in the community. When has basketball helped people create schools? Help bring the powers that be? When is basketball made to where the powers that be say, hey, let's create schools, after school programs, let's create tech curriculums and AI curriculums for people in the inner city so the kids can learn a great skill in a trade, so when they get older they can have a job where they can make a livable wage. When does that happen? Oh yeah, they got their what you call it, where they give money to charities and stuff like that. Oh, they got that. But I mean, what has it done? They talk about it and they say they help kids, this, that, and the third. But how much are they helping? Basketball been around for 75 years. 75 years. I have yet to see a kid say, hey, thanks to the NBA, I got a scholarship to Duke or Harvard or Stanford or Howard or Paul Quinn or Prairie View or FAMU, whatever. I ain't seen a whole bunch of them do that. Now, the NBA make a lot of money. Y'all got hundreds of billion-dollar contracts with TV organizations, trying to get that money up. I don't see, I don't see the correlation. I don't see it equaling out, leveling out nowhere. I'm just saying, where is it at? But we want to sit here and act like the sports bringing everybody together. Last story, Marcus Dupree, back in the day, one of the best running backs. There's a story that ESPN did on 30 for 30, said the greatest that never was. He was either from, God almighty, was it Mississippi or Alabama? But anyway, he was from the town where the three civil rights workers that came from the north came to the south and end up missing. Then they was found like in a quarry somewhere. Car found. They were found. The bodies were found like they were dead. And everybody know who did it, right? He was from there. He was like one of the best running backs in the country. In high school, even like one of the best running backs in college until he got hurt. Listened to the wrong people, went the wrong way, and he got hurt. Derailed his career. When he got done, after years, he became a truck driver. And one of the kids that he grew up with, went to school with, his dad was like one of the heads of the whole truck driver union. It was hard to get a job in that state. And his dad, helped him get a job. His dad back in the day was a sheriff during the time that those three civil rights workers were murdered. And when people went to trial, they got off. He was part of that crew. So basically, the dude was racist as hell. But when he went and got that job in truck driving, his son, got him in. And so his dad was like, oh, that Marcus Dupree, he used to love Marcus Dupree. Love to see him run down that field, scoring touchdowns, winning games, winning state titles. That's what he did. As long as he was out there entertaining him, it's all good. But you go and you stay on your side of town, because when the game's over, ain't nobody trying to say, hey, you Negroes to come move with us, or you Black Americans need to come move. No, we're gonna try to make it to where you can move on side of town too, so we can all intermingle. Matter of fact, we're gonna have barbecues together. We're gonna have family. We're gonna come to your family reunions. We're gonna have class reunions where we all gonna mingle, even though we didn't when we was kids. We're gonna make it better. I don't see sports doing that. They will do in your neighborhood. They'll come to your neighborhood. Ask your grandma if she caught up on her taxes. She's gonna say, no, y'all not gonna be caught up on the taxes. They're gonna come in, pay the taxes, take your house, build a house up, increase the value of the neighborhood. People, and they're gonna keep doing that. And the people in the neighborhood who are remaining won't be able to stay there because the taxes are gonna go up. And everybody that's living there is either on fixed income or got a little piss poor job. Can't make enough money to pay the taxes throughout the year. So those houses are going to be taken. They're going to come in, move y'all out, build a house, like I say, redo the houses, bring the Hispanic people to come in to build the houses, and create neighborhoods for themselves, and could care less where y'all went. That's what they mean by when they brings together. So when cats like Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Durant, anybody else who sit here and say that sports bring people together, man, that's bullcorn. That's a bullcorn statement, because they ain't looking out for you. They just looking to get paid from you. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna go with this, because I can go with this forever, man. Tell me what you think about this story. Kyrie, I support you in what you believe. I hate it that you got to do it and you getting treated like this, because this is what we go through, because this is not our world right now. You're not working for yourself. And if you're working for yourself and, had your money, whatever, you doing something else, making your own money, working for yourself, couldn't nobody tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could tweet something, wouldn't nobody even care. But because you playing for them folk and you put a tweet out about them folk, them folk was going to say something. That's just the way it is. It's you living in their house. So the thing is, what you got to do is, like we did when we was kids, couldn't wait to become adults and get in our own house so we could do what we want to do and follow and make our own rules. But tell me what you think. Leave a comment below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.